Now, in pre-market on Wall Street this morning, Tesla shares were down. How much more trouble is likely in store for Elon Musk over his tweet on taking Tesla private?
Yeah, exactly. Well, I can tell you, when we have to remember when he was tweeting that the shares of Tesla were at the beginning, dropping, then going up again. It's still really not sure what he has in mind for the company. Very interesting. We are receiving news today, insider news, that according to the Reuters news agency, the Saudi Arabia state fund that was his idea that they would be jumping in order to make Tesla private again, that they are now talking to Lucid Motor, which is one of the biggest competitors of Tesla. So yeah, not sure if they are still interested in helping Tesla and his CEO out. Also, there was this big question and discussion today if how capable the Tesla CEO actually is. There have been reports that he has been working more than 100 hours every week, that he has been sleeping only a couple of hours every night. So many are actually calling that there needs to be another second very strong person inside of the company in order really to have a strategy, what's going to happen with Tesla next.
All right, thank you very much for your time, Daniel. Well, we still have a long week to go. Although there's a holiday here, but don't worry, I don't have any holiday. So I hope to see you tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of the day, Daniel. In the U.S., stock index futures pushed higher ahead of Monday's open, adding to the gains from international markets. Around 6:40 a.m. Eastern Time, Dow Jones Industrial Average Futures rose 60 points, indicating a positive open of 66.68 points, with the S&P 500 and Nasdaq 100 futures also pointing to an upbeat start to the day. On the central banking front, Federal Reserve Bank of Atlanta President Raphael Bostic is set to make an appearance at a fireside chat at the Johnson City, Kingsport, and Bristol Chamber of Commerce in Kingsport, Tennessee. The economic symposium set to take place at Jackson Hole from Thursday until Saturday meantime will focus on changing market structure and the implications for monetary policy going forward. It will also feature a speech from Fed Chair Jerome Powell. And in Asia, markets mostly rose today following a higher finish on Wall Street on Friday after a report said China and U.S. negotiators are working on a plan to end a trade dispute that would result in meetings between President Donald Trump and Chinese leader Xi Jinping in November. Japan's Nikkei 225 closed 71.38 points to 22,199, while the Topix declined 5.38 points. In South Korea, the Kospi closed nearly flat at 2,247.88. Hong Kong's Hang Seng Index rose 1.25% as major casino stocks advanced. Chinese mainland markets closed in positive territory as the Shanghai Composite gained 1.11%, while the Shenzhen Composite ended the trading day 0.602% up. Australia's ASX 200 closed near flat at 6,345 points. Away from the markets, back here in Africa, the Nairobi Securities Exchange has suspended trading of Kenya's ARM cement 2 days after it was put under administration. The suspension in trading of the company's shares takes effect from August 20, 2018 and shall remain in force for 7 working days. And AngloGold Ashanti swung back into a first-half profit on the back of higher production and lower-than-expected retrenchment costs. The firm posted headline earnings of $99 million for January to June, in line with figures it had previously flagged, compared with a headline loss for the same period last year of $89 million. The turnaround in performance was also due to the absence of one-off non-cash settlement costs for Silicosis class action claims, which hit its earnings last year. In Ghana, AngloGold said the redevelopment of its historic Obuasi asset was on track with the issuing of environmental permits and the ratification by the Ghanaian Parliament of the fiscal and regulatory agreements to reboot the mine. And South African petrochemicals group Sasol says its full-year profit dropped 6%, pulled down by interruptions to production, a stronger rand and employee share-based payment expenses. Core headline earnings per share for the year ended June 30 fell to 36.03 rand compared with 33.47 rand a year earlier. The firm said its financials were affected by unplanned electricity supply interruptions from state-owned power utility Eskom and 2 internal outages of its Secunde Synfuels and Natref operations that resulted in lower production. A stronger average rand to dollar exchange rate compared with a year earlier also hurt results while expressing optimism about operation in the coming year. Sasol, the world's top manufacturer of motor fuel from coal, said earnings before interest, tax, depreciation and amortization rose 10% to 52 billion rand. The company declared a final dividend of 7.90 rand per share, up 1.3% year over year. That brings its total dividend declared for the period to 12.90 rand per share compared with 12.60 rand per share a year earlier. And Ghana will continue to subject its public finances to scrutiny of the International Monetary Fund after its bailout program with the lender ends in April. And this is according to the Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta. Ofori-Atta says while the government doesn't intend to ask for a second bailout deal, it will seek other forms of cooperation with the IMF, such as the Policy Support Instrument Program. According to the IMF, countries to sign up for the PSI program commit themselves to close policy dialogues and half-year assessments of economic and financial policies. And when we return after the break, we will cross over to the Nigerian Stock Exchange for an update on today's trading activities. To stay with us.